Good afternoon and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about a very interesting and educative topic. It's an interesting one because we're going to be learning a lot about this topic, and it's an educative one because everyone needs to know what to do if such situation occurs. So today we're going to be talking about choking. Choking is an emergency because it cuts off blood supply to the brain, leading to death immediately. So, ever wondered what happens if you are home in your house and your child is eating, and all of a sudden, your child of maybe 1 or 2 years old is eating, and all of a sudden he or she starts choking? Are you going to keep watching, like looking at your child doing nothing, or you're waiting for help? Yes, you've called for help. Of course, something needs to be done before this child gets to the hospital. You don't just keep looking at your child and waiting for before you get to the hospital for the doctor to attend to this child. You might get to the hospital and the doctor will, you know how our Nigerian hospitals are, before they attend to your child something might go wrong. So that's why we say once it starts emergency, something has to be done right from the moment it occurs. And that thing starts from where it has happened, the scenario, the place where it happened, where it's occurring. Something needs to be done from there. Which is, if it's in your house, maybe your child is choking, something has to start to be done from the house before getting to the hospital. Okay, so it might not only be food, it can be anything. Though, okay, we get to that place. So it might not even be your child. It can be in your workplace. Your colleague is eating, or one or two things, and all of a sudden he or she starts choking. You need to show them now that you're vast. You're not just an office worker. You need to show that you have learned, you've acquired a lot of skills apart from your profession. You need to show that you're intelligent, you're skilled. So it can happen anywhere. Choking can happen anywhere and anytime. That is why I said this topic is an educative one that everyone, every parent needs to listen to. Every parent needs to watch this video so as to get the skills and know what to do if eventually you find yourself in such situation. Now let's fire on. So what is choking? Like we said, choking is an emergency situation whereby a foreign object lodges into the throat or the trachea, causing an obstruction in airflow. Okay, so it could be food, like we said, it could be objects such as seeds, beads in children, stone, insects, anything, so long as it is a foreign object. So when this happens, the person starts struggling for air. And the first sign to know that ah, this person is choking, is to you will see that this person is clutching his or her throat with either one hand or two. What's the person trying to do? Trying to breathe, struggling to breathe. So that's the first way to identify one who is choking. You see this person clutching his or her throat with one or two hands. And if this person is not clutching his or her throat with one or two hands, it could be showing other signs, which brings us to signs and symptoms of choking. Now, the person might be finding it difficult to breathe. You might see that this person can no longer breathe. He's struggling to breathe, or the person is finding it difficult to breathe, to talk, sorry. The person cannot say a word. And if eventually he or she manages to say any word, to say anything, the voice sounds hoarse or hoarse. You just be hearing a hoarse voice, a very dry voice. Another sign and symptom is bluish discoloration of the limbs, the eyes, the fingers, and all that, because there is now an obstruction in airflow. Blood oxygen is no longer getting to these parts I just mentioned. Another one is loss of consciousness. Once this person is struggling to breathe and struggle, and nothing has been done, no emergency action has been taken, this person loses consciousness. And then the final stage, which is the last stage, which is collapse. After collapse, the person might die from there. So that's why we said it's an emergency situation, and something in every emergency situation, an emergency action needs to be taken. So now let's look at what to do in such life-threatening situations, the action to take. So the American Heart Association recommended 5 and 5 approach, a 5 and 5 approach, meaning we have two major maneuvers, which are the abdominal thrust and the 5 back blows. Abdominal is 5 abdominal thrust and 5 back blows. The abdominal thrust is also known as the Aimless maneuver, and let's talk about it first. So in a situation whereby you're around someone who is choking and then you've called for help, that's the first thing to do. If you're two, you could send someone to go look for help. If you're alone, you could put up a call while you're doing something. So when you're waiting for help, you'll be carrying out these emergency actions, these maneuvers I'm about to discuss with you. This abdominal thrust, let's look at it critically. So as the American Heart Association have said, they said it's 5 abdominal thrust. Like I said, abdominal thrust is also known as Aimless maneuver. So the first thing to ask this person to do before you start the maneuver is to tell this person to keep coughing forcefully. Like the whoever it is that is involved, you ask the person to keep coughing forcefully. Forcefully, you know what it means to cough? To cough forcefully. Like, don't just cough little. You cough with applying pressure, like trying to see if the object will come out. And if in 2 to 3 minutes, the object is not dislodged, the object is still there, the person is still struggling, you start up your maneuvers. So to carry out the abdominal thrust, you stand behind this person, make a fist with your right hand, place it on the abdomen, then using your left hand, this way you place it on the fist you have done and push inwards and upwards. Keep pushing inwards, 5, like we said, 5 times consecutively. While doing this, the object will be dislodged with the force and the pressure used. So if the object doesn't dislodge with this, you can try the other maneuver, which we will talk about later. And if these two, no one helps, but hopefully one of them will bring out the object. If after doing these two, no one helps, by then you should have gotten to the hospital, or by then, after that, you should be moving direct to the hospital to seek for an expert help. So, like I said, you stand behind, in abdominal thrust, the Aimless maneuver, you stand behind this person, make a fist with your right hand, place your left hand on the fist above the umbilicus, which is your navel, and then you push inward and upward from behind. You're standing behind until the object is dislodged 5 times. Then, if it's a child, this is same. You do same thing for the child. The only difference is that you kneel down behind the child instead of standing. Of course, a child is much brief in height, so you don't stand. You kneel down so you can be on the level of the child, and you carry out the same procedure. A child, children of 2 years, 3 years and above, a child, just kneel down behind, make a fist with your right hand, place your left hand on it and push inwards and upward until the object is dislodged. If you do it well, the object will come out and this person will be free. Then the 5 back blows. What to do? It is also similar with the abdominal thrust, not really similar. Same 5 back blows, as the name implies. 5 back blows. You stand to the side of the person from the back. Then you use your left hand, support this person, the neck and the chest. Just place it here, the way mine is. Then on the back, there's nobody with me, so I'm doing everything on my own. Use your your right hand, the heel, this part, in between the chest, the backbones, the two backbones, in between, you hit this person forcefully 5 times. Five, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, until this object is dislodged, that is comes out. Same thing with a child. I'm talking about both and that of adults and children. Same thing with that of a child. If it's a child, you kneel down and carry out the same thing. Place your chest, holding your hand in front, your left hand holding the neck and the chest. Then using your right hand, you give this person in between the backbones 5 blows, 5 back blows. If it's a child, you kneel down, like we said. That is it. Why are you doing this? If you do it well, the object will be dislodged. Okay? Then, if it's an an infant is a child, it is one who is from 0 to 12 months. That is less than a year, less than 1 year of age. So the child, definitely the child might not be walking yet, or you can still is a child that you can still carry, you back, you carry. So you place this child, you take a sitting position the way I am seated. You place this child on your thighs. Then let's use this as illustration. Let's assume this is the child, an infant. So you carry this child this way. If you want to carry out back blows on this child, then you hold the child facing, place the child. This is the baby's front, like this front, and this is the baby's back. So you place the child facing downwards, like the face downwards, and then use your hand, support the child neck and chest with the head bent and slightly bent more than the trunk. The head slightly bent. Then you hit between the baby's backbones too. You hit slightly, same way. Just you bend the head. This one is a common procedure now. You carry the baby like this. Baby is facing downwards. The face is down. Then the head will be bent, not straight, in a straight position, this way. And then holding, my left hand is supporting the neck and the chest. And then 5 times. So the pressure of the position the baby is taking, and then the pressure from the blows I'm giving, will definitely dislodge the object, will bring out the object, and the baby is fine. But if after this the infant is still choking, of course, you know how it is in children and adults, it is not the same thing. If after this child is still choking, you turn the child forward, and then you turn this child, you also make sure that the head is slant. Then in between the breastbones, you using 2 fingers, you also do 5, you give 5 chest compressions. 5. We are talking about 5s and 5, 5 and 5. You give 5 chest compression, 1.5 inches each, so that you ensure you don't fracture the ribs. So this is what you do until either the object is dislodged, or you get to the hospital, and then you see an expertise, a doctor, an expertise, whatever, that will now take over the case. So this is what we do for infants. So the next thing we're going to talk about is for pregnant women. Of course, a pregnant woman that her abdomen is already protruded, now it's difficult to come and start doing abdominal thrust here. The abdomen is already protruded. What you do, yes, you can do it, but when you're doing it, your aim is to make sure the mother and the baby are alive, that no harm comes to both of them. You want to save mother and you want to save baby. So you do same thing from the back. You make a fist, but above that umbilicus, above it, just under the breast. You get just under the breast. You carry out same procedure, inward and upward, inward and upward. No longer here. If it's a normal person, a normal adult, this is where we do it. Just immediately above the umbilicus, the navel. But in a pregnant woman, we go above, slightly above just under the breast. Okay? And then, if you're alone and you're choking, what do? Of course, many times when we are alone, We could be choking. We can eat and start choking. We can mistakenly put something. We can be licking something. All of a sudden, it goes down into our throat without without us breaking it. It's still in big bits. It goes down into the throat, and then we start choking. What do? You get a seat. If it's not a, you can get a seat. I know you're struggling, but you can just help yourself get a seat, if a plastic seat, or if you have a cushion, just lean on it. Then same thing you have been doing for others, same way, it's just the same thing. Place your hand here, your right hand making a fist, place your left hand, then you lean on the seat to help you and give you support and help you with the push up, because you're doing it for yourself. Then you still push inward and upwards. That solves it. So it is as simple as that. Don't forget that before you start doing this, you must have called for help. You understand? And if you're alone, don't forget that you need to you could put up, if you call someone before you start, you're choking. Don't just start. You can put someone on call, dial a number, even if you cannot speak, you leave it on speaker, so the person will know what's going on. Just leave the call on before you start the procedure, so that the person will know. Because while you're choking, and like I said earlier on, the person is unable to speak, and if the person just in one way or the other finds a way to speak, say anything, the person's voice is worse. Like, you can't even hear clearly what the person is saying. So you can put up a call, anybody can come up and help, and leave it on speaker while you're doing what you're doing. You understand? While you do the abdominal thrust on yourself. Like I said, abdominal thrust is possible on yourself. You can do it for yourself. So some other time we're going to make videos of this so we can see exactly, but I know it was well demonstrated. So do well to comment. If you have any contribution, if you have any questions, do well to put it down on the comment box. I will definitely reply you. I'll give you answers. Thank you, and like the video and subscribe. Thank you very much.